Marriage is a social right that is continued in every religion of the world, in every region and in every nation, because it is related to this specific process of survival and continuity of life, which if left, the human race will remain disconnected, in view of its importance. Every nation and every religion has devised methods for this, in its own social and religious background. Today in this video we will have a brief look on the concept of Islamic marriage and how to pursue it. 1. Islamic perspective. In Islam, marriage is not just a name for the fulfillment of human desires and the satisfaction of natural emotions. Just as there are many natural needs of man, marriage is also an important natural need of man. Therefore, in Islam, it is permissible to fulfill this natural need in a legitimate and decent way, and Islam has described marriage as necessary for human survival and protection. Islam has defined marriage as worship for the sense of servitude and consciousness of life. Allah Almighty has placed many religious and worldly benefits for man in marriage, such as social benefits, moral benefits, family benefits, and psychological benefits. Nikah is another name for benefits and virtues. In the Holy Quran, very clear arguments have been given about marriage. The biggest fear that a person has is that after marriage he will have a wife and children. Then the financial burden will increase a lot, and thinks whether I should marry or not. Allah Almighty has uprooted this fear in verse number 32 of Surah Al-Nur, which says, "Arrange marriages between the single men and women, among your and between your slave men and women who are righteous. If they be indigent, Allah will provide means for them out of His bounty. Allah has boundless resources and He is all-knowing." What could be more motivating than this? So Islamic concept is that firstly Allah created a couple of Haz, Adam and Eve, peace and blessing be upon them. And ever since this whole humanity has been engaged in married life. Islam has not left out any detail related to marriage, big or small, and in today's video we will have a bird's-eye view of few important details. 2. Marriage in Quran. Marriage is so important in Islam that Quran and Hadith has elucidated in a manner that nothing is omitted. Quran has told the purpose of creation of woman, whom to marry, whom one cannot marry, divorce, and inheritance matters, etc. Surah Al-Rum verse, note 21, tells us that a woman gives color to life, and of His signs is that He created for you, of yourselves, spouses, that you may find rest in them, and He has made between you amity and mercy. Surely in that are indeed signs for a people who meditate. Quran has encouraged marriage, as Al-Rad's verse, note 38, elaborates. We sent many messengers before you, and we made them all have wives and children. In this short video, I can only share fewer ayahs and ahadith, but I will strongly recommend all viewers to go through all such verses and ahadith. 3. Marriage in Hadith. There are so many details of marriage in Hadith that a person can write many books, like selection of partner, when to marry, whom to marry, and all sorts of details. A hadith by Al-Bukhari and also by Al-Muslim from Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, mentions the saying of Prophet Is, and blessings of Allah be upon him. A woman may be married for 4 things: her wealth, her lineage, her beauty, and her religious commitment. Seek the one who is religiously committed. May your hands be rubbed with dust, i.e., may you prosper. According to the hadith of Hazrat Aisha, the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "The most blessed marriage is the one with the least suffering." I think if the Ummah only adheres to this hadith, then half of the marriage problems will be solved. Thus, it is narrated in Tirmidhi, on the authority of Hazrat Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, 4 things are the unanimous Sunnah of the Prophets, peace be upon them: modesty, fragrance, miswak, and marriage. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, has told all the things, what to do and not to do about marriage. He also forbade untimely marriage, which has become the biggest problem of modern era. Considering the abundance of ahadith about marriage and the current number of marriage problems, It is clear that we are deaf to the teachings of the Prophet. 4. Why nikah is compulsory. It is said that from Prophet Adam's era to present day, about 17 civilizations have passed, and there has never been any nation, religion exempted from marriage. For a Muslim, nikah means fulfilling the commands of Allah and His Messenger. Marriage is such a basic unit of society, without which the existence of society is not possible. By marriage, a man and a woman do not only become husband and wife, but now they both divide their needs and most of the affairs into two parts, and determine their own responsibilities, and become assistants and helpers in each other's work. Through the thick and thin of life, they are each other's motivation and strength. Marriage saves a person from many evils. Sexual desires are naturally placed within men and women. Marriage is the halal way to fulfill this natural desire. If there is no marriage, then fulfilling this requirement illegally will be inclined towards the destruction of society. Nikah protects from obscenity and debauchery. The worldly and hereafter benefits of marriage are innumerable. In this short video, I can only count few of them. 1. Marriage itself is obedience and worship. 2. One of the main purposes of marriage is piety. 3. Seeking children is also one of the purposes of marriage. In order to achieve this goal, there is a great emphasis in the hadith that marry such women who are going to give birth to more children. 4. One of the main purposes of marriage is that it is a source of comfort and relaxation. 5. Nikah is also a means of preventing many diseases and ailments. 6. Statistics show that unmarried couples are more likely to commit suicide than married couples, while married people are often mentally and morally stable. 5. Age of marriage. Nowhere in the Quran and Hadith is there an explicit mention of the age of marriage for man and woman. But there are many verses and Hadiths from which the jurists argue. Marriage should be done as an adult, and parents should see to it that when their child needs to be married, as people's attitudes and temperaments are different, so are their needs. Now, whoever has such a disposition that he cannot live without fulfilling his sexual desire, then when he does not get married, he will turn to immorality, and according to the Hadith, his sin will also be on his parents. It is also not a rule that the eldest son will get married first, then the middle one, and then the youngest, which is a normal practice in many Muslim countries. According to a Hadith of Sahih Muslim, the Messenger of Allah is addressing the youth and saying that whoever has the power to establish a home should get married. But one thing should be very clear here, that Islam is not talking about a lavish home to establish, which is a normal practice. Nowadays, rather, the basic necessities of life should be met. 6. Islamic family. As raising, training, and proper education of children is the responsibility of parents, finding a good relationship and marriage in time is also an important duty of parents. Throughout life, there come many ups and downs in the relationship of husband and wife. The first thing parents should do is not to bring their quarrels and differences in front of their children. It will have a huge impact on their psychology. Obviously, children who see their parents fighting all the time will learn that the wife should be treated in the same way. The real beauty of Islam lies in education, and after leaving it, today we are forced to adopt a westernized lifestyle. Parents should inculcate in their children patience, tolerance, contentment, keeping quiet during fights, responding to evil with good since childhood, since a family is formed from husband and wife, and society is the name of these families. Therefore, the sermon recited at the time of marriage mentions the verses that command to fear Allah. If parents inculcate taqwa in the hearts of children, then every married couple will lead a life like of paradise. 7. Delay in marriage. In today's era, delaying the marriage of young boys and girls is leading us to disaster, which we don't even realize. There are many reasons for delaying marriage in Muslim society. Due to unnecessary rituals and expenses in marriages, a lot is being spent on unnecessary activities, and the financial burden on parents and siblings is increasing. Due to delay in marriages, moral defects are developing in the youth. Sometimes young people are forced to commit suicide due to mental stress. Ibn Masud, a famous companion, used to say that if there were only 10 days left in my life, I would like to get married so that I do not enter the court of Allah unmarried. So lately, if you couldn't marry timely in your life and you are listening to this video, then please take the advice of Ibn Masud R.A. and marry as soon as possible. 7. Successful marriage. Love marriage is permissible in Islam because in Sharia, both men and women are given the right to like or dislike a relationship. Parents should take special care of their children's likes and dislikes while establishing a relationship, because most parents in our society think about their likes and dislikes 100 times while buying cows, buffaloes, goats, houses, cars, clothes, and other items. While marrying the children, they impose their own relationships on them, who have to spend their whole lives together. Islam has described 3 types of rights of husband and wife. 1. Joint rights. 2. Rights of husband. 3. Rights of wife. He who wants to make his marriage the most successful, just try to master these 3 types of rights. If you want to learn more about the beautiful faith of Islam, click this video where we introduce to you the 8 doors of paradise.